Man, welcome to another episode of Real Shit Let's Talk podcast. Man, I'm with the All-Star Row. Man, listen, this is a phenomenal guy. Let me tell you about a little bit about him, but I'm going to hold that. Let me let him come to the mic. Go ahead, Ro. Tell us about yourself, man. What's going
What's
on?
good, man? It's Ro here, man. True. Best athlete, best weightlifter you ever seen, best-selling author coming up, everything else all under the sun. Man, I'm glad to be here on this podcast and for you to deep dive in and ask me all the questions you need to give your viewers what they want.
Okay, what makes you an all-star athlete, man?
Man, what made me an all-star athlete, I played a little bit of everything. I played football, baseball, I even did a couple of other sports, but football and baseball was the main ones I played, and I was able to play at the collegiate level. So, I mean, I would guess, earning scholarships at different schools and going to college for free, and getting accolades at those colleges will make you, an all-star athlete, per se.
Okay, well, what was your best experience at college?
My best experience out of college, I would have to say my last year at Abilene Christian. Our team was really productive. We were really close. We made it to the championship game in our conference, even though we lost. But it was just a real good, I would say, last swan song for me leaving college football. Because I played for 6 years due to COVID and getting a red shirt, but mostly because of COVID.
Okay. And during your all-star years, did you ever get hurt?
Yeah, so I actually I had a few injuries. I actually had a knee injury where I had to torn my meniscus and I had to get surgery for it. But I definitely had some injuries that right now they don't linger. So thank God, they don't linger now to where I have any problems with lifting weights or running and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely had some pretty vicious injuries.
Now, how was your dating life being all this all-star athlete?
Dating life was pretty good. I had in college, I had one girlfriend for sure. That I was with for a minute, but outside of that, yeah, I definitely was kind of one of those like typical college athlete guys, if that makes sense.
Dive into it. Elaborate.
So what exactly you want to know then?
So the parties, you was at the parties.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, the parties. Man, when I went to a few colleges. When I was at my first college, I didn't really party. I was in military school. I was scared. I had busted my behind to get to this level of playing Division I football where I didn't really party in high school. So I was kind of like standoffish. And it was at a military school. You can't get caught. And I wasn't 21 yet. Went to a junior college. Man, the stories I got on my junior college when I was partying, it really shows you like how desperate dudes would want to be to go party. I was in Iowa, so it was in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and we would have a party that would be going to UNI, University of Northern Iowa, which is like an hour away. Only one of us had a car. We would sit there in that car with about 5 dudes, sardined, in a car driving for an hour, trying to pick up girls. But think about that for a second. We would go to a party an hour away with one car to try to get girls. How are we going to bring them back?
Facts.
It's like we dudes just being dudes, I had fun. Like it was just wild times. And then when I got to my third school, I turned 21, got my own car. Oh yeah, that's when I started.
Game changer.
Yeah, that's when I started having.
You was Mr. Road Runner.
Yeah, that's when my first semester up there. That's when it was pretty wild, and I'm thankful for that because a lot of guys would have the FOMO of the dating life and wanting to party. And I'm like, man, get out your system. Have parties, go holler at girls. Let them tell you no. Let them tell you yes. Find out how bad it is to let somebody stay at your crib till 3 a.m. and you got to wake up. And because at my college, I hadn't seen it at my last college and I don't hear about it much now. But at my third college, they used to have this thing called the Walk of Shame. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I heard of it.
Okay. So they had this thing called a Walk of Shame where on our campus, it was made like a circle where the cars couldn't just cut through the middle of campus just to drive. And all the dining halls was not dining halls, all the dormitories were in that circle. So you'd have to drive around just to go around. Well, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, a girl and a guy would just be like, shoot, I got to go across the block just to go to my dorm. Man, you'll know if somebody did something they ain't supposed to do because you'll see them, girls walking with their heels across the campus, dudes walking with their shirt off. And, oh man, but it used to be funny. It was normalized, so it was funny.
Right? Did you pledge?
Oh no, I'm not gonna say what I wanted to pledge because I'm a legacy. I have some family members that are in it, and I did want to pledge, but I never went to a school that had the fraternity that I would have pursued to say. So I never had the opportunity to pledge, and I could have did it as a grad chapter, but again, it was just timing and stuff, so I never got to pledge.
You could do it now, though.
I could.
You could.
That's something to consider.
I think I know which one.
Okay. Like me, which one?
I'm just gonna say the O.
Oh my, yeah. I've heard. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, yeah, that's what everyone says. I would have been one of those obnoxious, loud barking.
Not necessarily obnoxious. Sometimes we have to, like in our younger youth, I feel like we have to take away what it means to be a prestige member of any frat, any sorority, and things like that, because you carry a different notation as you get older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you live your life, you party, have a good time, and then at that moment, if you did it, yeah, you wilding out, having a good time. But then you realize, you say, as I got older, now I'm with the older heads, the OGs that say, hey, listen, I'm representing but if we at a football game, quote unquote, I'm watching you on the field playing, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna holler at you, and you're gonna be like, hey, that's my brother right there. You're gonna remember that because you learn brotherhood.
The bros,
Right. So it's a little, little distinction, but you're still young, so you can still do it. And you know what I'm saying, have a good time. And at the same time, I feel like what I learned, you being an athlete, you've done it. You pretty much lived almost the college life or dream.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
So now, back to this dating scene. Now, how many people have you...
I just do this. Go ahead.
How many people have you dated in the last 2 years?
Like, say, this is my girlfriend?
Yes.
None.
Oh, so you a Rolling Stone?
I would say right now, honestly, I'm in like a bachelor like mindset right now, and it's no, because I do talk to different girls, and I do court and love talking to women, but right now I'm not in the mindset to date, and that's just because I'm still on a mindset of like propelling to where I need to be before I'm willing to settle down per se, but to acknowledge someone as like my girl, because I have like a standard that's like most of them just probably don't even want to deal with, and it's nothing against them, it's just I'm always on go, like I'm always moving, I'm never settling. Most of them have the issue of, why you always moving, I don't want to move there, and it's like, you just gonna slow me down,
Just here for the time.
They're here for a good time, not a long time.
Hey, Mr. Right Here, Mr. Unavailable.
Oh, I'm Mr. Right Now.
Yeah, Mr. Right Now, Mr. Right. Yeah, Mr. Right Now, Mr. Unavailable. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I treat them right. I make them feel good. Especially if look, I used to call myself boyfriend number 2, Pleasure Road. if they man pissed them off, man, look, I got you there.
Really? Right. Mr. Boyfriend number 2. Mr. Place Filler.
I'm gonna keep it real. I believe that most, if not all girls, I ain't gonna say all, because that's saying every single one.
All girls.
The majority of women have a man that they are seriously talking to and or dating.
Okay.
And I don't get that misconstrued, because it's always a competition. And since it's always a competition, I mean, I've majority of the time taken a girl from a guy.
Okay.
And it's like
Mr. Smooth.
But it's not about me and Mr. It's about timing. I will say it's about
there
timing.
You go.
But I have the confidence to be like, oh, that's your dude. All right. Hey, all right, bro.
Hey, Mr. Steele, your boy. Mr. Steele, your spot. Your girl is here. God damn, you got me flabbergasted in this shit. He say he over here taking other dudes' girls left and right.
But it's like I do it not on purpose. It's, again, like I said, I believe most of them have.
Right.
And it's like, bro, if I don't know the dude or nothing like that, I have enough. Like, I ain't never been one of the dudes to like mess with a guy's girl or something like that. Cool. Like athletes, like football players, teammates. I don't do that. But it's like, if we compete, I'm gonna be the one to come up on top if I got to.
All the time?
Man, I haven't seen a situation where I haven't. That's all I'm gonna say. I haven't seen a situation where I haven't. Okay. You one of them spades player, right? You know them spades player that had that last spade and then like pro card. Oh yeah, but I didn't been in a situation, and this is how crazy it is. I didn't been in a situation where I didn't been on a college campus. I'll give you experience. Forget that. I'll just give you experience. I'm messing with this chick, and she with me. And I'm with my teammates. This is actually how me and my teammates, the group we had, became close. And I'm with this girl, and I told her the rules. Like, man, I'm watching you this night, this and that, da-da-da. Telling her exactly what she needs to expect. She can have her fun, but it's like, you my responsibility tonight. So then she just like, oh, here's my phone, because she probably going to lose her phone. So holding her phone, cool, whatever. And it's just like something buzzing in my pocket. I'm like, I know this ain't my phone. So I'm like, it's probably some dudes. So then woo time goes by, we go back to the dorms. Well, not the dorms, like the apartments we was living on. And I was just like, you go back to your spot, or you come to my crib. Pick one. She made the decision to walk up to my stairs. So I was like, all right, cool. Woo time goes by, I'm seeing her phone still buzzing throughout the night. So I'm like, pay attention, Roger. Pay attention to the signs. So then the next morning, she just like, oh, I'm finna go. This, that, da, woo. And she's like, I had a good time. Like, just keep this between us. And all this. I was like, oh, yeah, for sure, gang. She left. I immediately called my homeboy. I said, hey, bro, you up? He was like, yeah. I said, I'm finna come to your crib right quick. He goes, all right, bet. So I get in the car after she left, and I drove to his crib. No BS. When I get to the crib, 10 minutes later, she calls. And I answer the phone. And I was like, what's good? Hey, bro, did you fuck my girl? I was like, oh my God. I said, huh? And he was just like, man, tell me something. You was messing with my girl last night? And then I hear in the background, like, trying to be like, he was doing this, doing that. I said, bro, were you calling me to ask me if I messed with your girl? He goes, yeah, bro, tell me to the straight. I said, ask her why her stuff is freshly shaved in. And then I left it at that. He hung up the phone. I ain't spoke to the girl since. That's how it be. Especially on, like, it's like, what do you expect college to be?
Right.
It's there for you to have fun and be promiscuous, do dumb stuff. Like, that's what you do. Like, people call it like you make regretful decisions. No, I think that's when you make the best decisions that are supposed to be mistakes.
Okay.
So expect that from women as well. Like, guys are sitting there making some dumb decisions. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what you think the women's doing? And I was an athlete. Everybody wanted us. Everybody wanted the athletic football and, athletic, basketball players and stuff like that. So yeah, but they wasn't trying to date. They wasn't trying to date. They were trying to have fun.
So did you end up graduating?
Yeah, I graduated from 2 colleges, well, technically 3 because went to a junior college, so I got 3 degrees. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you plan on doing with that?
So I was able to get the jobs that I have now. So I got my MBA. So I was able to get the jobs that I have now and using that to forefront everything I'm doing right now.
Okay. You see yourself like mentoring, coaching other dudes or other little kids on the way?
My father was a coach, and coaching sounded cool, but that's too small of a scale.
Okay.
Like, now that social media exists and all that stuff, I'm just like, I got too many experiences that most people would never be able to get for me to just be with a group of 100 people. Now, I won't like crowd, because we played college football. We was in front of thousands and thousands of people who paid money to see us perform. So who's to say I can't talk in front of that many people and garner the same type of attention?
So meaning like a public speaker.
I mean, yeah. Actually, now that you say that, I could see myself being a public speaker for the same reasons. Like, for the same reason. Like, yeah, sure, yeah, I can give like a TED talk or something like that.
Okay. So like you were saying something like the dating pool out here now, you have a certain standards. What is your standard?
It's funny because when I tell you these, you're going to be like, it's really easy. But that's the problem. It's only 3 things I ask for out of a girl. And that's it. I keep it just those 3 things. I want you to be peaceful. And when I mean by peaceful, I go through hell and back every day when I leave my house. Some people leave the house and never come back. I go through hell and back when I leave my house. Last thing I need is to come home to hell on earth. Please. If you got an issue, I'll listen to it. But remember, I got my own issues too. So let's work together instead of working against each other. Second one, support me. I come up with the craziest ideas 24/7. I've written a book. I've gone viral on social media. I've spontaneously got 2 dogs. I've up and moved. The last thing I need is a person who's laying in bed with me every day questioning why I'm doing something. It's one thing to support it and be like, here's my direction. But most of the time, they're probably questioning, like, don't do it, which is slowing you down.
Right.
And then the last one, you got to hear me on this one. The last one is sexual attraction. And I'm not talking about having sex. I'm talking about sexual attraction where you care every day to garner my attention. You want me to look at you every day because now I know that the work I'm doing for you is not in vain. You want to put on that perfume that's going to make me be like, was that you? Or that lotion. Because I'm like, that's my senses. You know what I'm saying? You rub on my shoulder while I'm sitting there making an edit in a video because you know that's going to get my attention. I ain't got a lot of hair. Like, I love when girls like touch the top of my hair and stuff like that. So it's like, you like doing the little things that's going to make me be like, damn, that's why I got you.
Okay.
And it's like, that's 3 easy. And the crazy thing about those 3 things, it's free. None of that costs a dime. Like, matter of fact, I'll speak on it. If I were to give advice to guys out of college, I'll say in college too, because I was like, I should have been more like this, is don't do 50-50. And what I mean by don't do 50-50, go 100%, 0%. Go all out with that girl 100% on her. And the reason why I say that is because everything that she has to do for you is free. So there's no excuse. And if she doesn't do anything, she don't really like you. Because you know how hard it is to spend all that money and work to get that money back. So if you can't keep it up, you're going to pay attention to the stuff that she don't want to do anyway. So if you going 100% off rip, I ain't talking about tricking on her. I'm talking about you taking care of everything. And I'm not saying make her move in with you, but you taking care of everything. And all of a sudden, her complimenting you is too much. Her wanting to, like, I don't know, make you some food because you paid for the groceries. Her wanting to be nice to you. If she ain't doing that, she really don't like you. Because then when you add in money to the equation, now you kind of need her because she also helping you pay for the food that you eat, the bills that you pay, etc. Now you giving her a reason to not want to be nice, not want to have sex with you and all that stuff. Now, make it easy on her. Make it that easy to where if she still don't want to do it, she really don't like you.
Okay, let me add something to it real quick because I like this. I want you to add a fourth one to your things. And
the three?
The three. You want to have a divine spiritual connection with that person too as well that you lock down because it's something about a spiritual connection that you unlocked everything else. You know how like we can think alike, or in the sense of, let's say, here's a forest, there's the trees, you see the trees, she sees over the trees and through the mountains. But to bring it into correlation is that like when you have that spiritual connection, it's that you can leave the room right now, like y'all both together. You got to go do your thing, she got to go do her thing. But then you sense, hey, something was wrong. You make that phone call, hey, you straight? Da-da-da. Y'all both left the same spot, going in two different directions.
It's like a
but your spirit, chakra, but your spirit is like, wait, hold on, something just kind of off. Hey, da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, I left my iPad in the Uber. Da-da-da. Don't worry about it. I got you because you stayed back and you did that. Or, better yet, you say you move around a lot. You just gone. Da-da-da. You didn't have a chance to get back to the crib to do everything that you need to go do. But she knows you like your house clean, or she knows that, hey, you like X, Y, and Z that need to be done. The Amazon packages done came in. You know,
dogs already walked.
Right. Everything's already done. So she already swooped, boom, boom, went to the crib. You come home, you remember you left this like this, that over there. You come through and your senses be like, wait, damn, that was clean? Yeah, I felt you there. I knew that when you came back,
that's what
spiritually, I knew that when you come back, your aura of dealing with the hell and back out there in the world of what you're trying to do and what you're bringing back in this house, I had to make sure that you walked into a sanctuary of peace on earth. And that's what I'm saying. So when you build it, but you gotta like say that spiritual, not too in depth with it, but like you build that spiritual connection where it's like your spirit feels something different other than the sexual urges. It tells you something that's like, something is off, or I'm thinking about you and I need you to know that I'm thinking about you. So I might pick up that phone call. I might get those flowers for you. I might buy something, just not saying monetary always, but you just doing something outside the norm. But it's just, you felt that it was needed to be done
with your person.
And then that way, like you said, when you was doing the media and they rubbing your back, they editing, they coaching you on. But sometimes, again, spiritually connected and divine with a person is that when y'all do lock in on the intercourse type of tip, it could be where it's like it's more inner body, outer body experience. It doesn't take alcohol, doesn't take any type of drugs. It's like, I know this person inside and out, and this person makes me feel like this ecstasy that I am so embodied and in tune. It's like a love like no ever. Like, I'll tell you this. I had a granddad, right? His granddad, like he's my great granddad. So he was married this lady. She was a little bit younger than him. She had got dementia. And he still took care of her. He said, that's my responsibility 100%. He worked until he was 98. That's what he wanted. He said, if I don't keep moving, then I stopped living. That was his thing. But he took care of her the whole way until like she got a little, he's old, they fell and, whatever. So he got help with her. He still paid her. He still paid all the bills. He paid his house off, paid everything, took care of her. And so, she has dementia, so she forgets a lot of things. But he did the little things that I'm telling you about, like spiritually. Hey, her favorite blanket. her teddy bear, different things of that nature, and she remembered who he was
because
of it.
Steady reminder every single
Right.
day. Yeah.
And so one day she had to go to assisted living or whatever, and we had to go see her. I know this is out of context of some people, but how you say big daddy, how you say daddy, all this stuff. Yeah. But this was different. He told my mom, said, hey, can we stop at the gas station right quick? I gotta get something. Mm-hmm. Boom, pulled to the gas station. He got her favorite candy. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what it was, but it was in the brown paper bag. He just did everything. He went and wrote like a little message on it, just the basics. Mm-hmm. Went to the facility, seen her. She was so happy to see him. And he pulled out, he said, I got you something. And sometimes with people who have dementia, they go back to their kid sense, like when they was a kid, the little things like that. That's the
they could remember. Okay,
right.
Okay.
So boom, he went, she's like, oh, mine's. Went to the camera. Thank you, Daddy. It wasn't like a master or any control like that, but it was
childlike attribute of her.
But she was happy. She was like, Daddy, when I'm going home, I miss you. I love you. You got my favorite camera. I like the blue one. Y'all can't have none of mine. And when he just smiled and he's like, can I do your hair? And he tried to do her hair. She was happy. It was just like a type of love that was unexplainable and unobtainable because he knew what his position was, mm-hmm. and he did it without actually having to do much. Yeah. But the little things that count because they had that spiritual connection and that bond. Mm-hmm. So we get ready to leave. She said, hey, Dad, I'm coming home with you. He was like, no, Daddy got to go out here and still, make the bacon. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to see you tomorrow. And I need you to let these people take care of you, okay? You let me know if anybody do anything. Okay, I don't like Nurse Betty, okay? And I really miss you, and I'm ready to go, okay? She started packing her things up to go, and, she was still going to go. And he was like, no, you got to stay. And she's like, listen, I love you. You are my responsibility. I ain't gonna let nothing ever happen to you. And they looked each other in the eye, and she was like, yes, sir. And she laid back. He gave her a kiss on the forehead and kind of tucked her in and whatever like that. She's like, okay, I'm gonna miss you. I'll see you soon, okay? And I ain't never seen a love like that.
That is earned. That is earned. That is one of those things that people fantasize. That's fairy tale.
But that's that old school love. I feel like you said before, when it goes in the steps of rudiments of love, we're so quick to be invasive on the things that like the right now.
Yeah, the instant gratification of
right.
It.
Yeah. And then I think too, it's like if we go back to that old school love, man, that Al Green.
Oh yeah, that old. Okay, yeah, that old. Yeah, I know what old school they talking about now. Yeah, I mean, you know what? If I would have blamed, there's always somebody to blame. There's always some type of accountability needs. I blame the men for that. I blame my brothers for that. And the reason why I say that is because dating is actually extremely easy. The game is literally written. Matter of fact,
go ahead. Let's go.
Okay. Right. Look. I'm gonna say this. All right. Is this camera right? No, is this one right here? All right. I'm gonna say this. Dating in 2025 for men is like playing Pokemon.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Dating in 2025 for men is like playing Pokemon because sometimes you blessed with it. Like you tall, you get the attributes of being, a tall guy, athletic guy. That's like getting the game like Fire Red, Charmander, and Bulbasaur scored the best starters, or you get a start a game where it's like you don't even remember the starters and you don't even want the Pokemon no more, right? That's like Sword and Shield, trash. But then when you leave, in order for you to get more Pokemon and capture more Pokemon, the girls, in order for you to capture more, you got to get more badges. So you got to get more badges. Those badges are attributes of a man. Leave your parents' house. Get your money together. Get a job. Get a car, et cetera, et cetera. Get fit. You need each badge to get access to the better Pokemon, the better women that you want.
Right.
And you can't until you get said badges. And then everybody wants a legendary. Everybody wants a 10 out of 10 baddie. You got to get all 8 badges to get that, first of all. Mm-hmm. And you got to have all your stuff together. Now, what about those dudes who like to cheat? They send they friend, give them the alley-oop. Oh, man, you could get this job. They'll give you 6 figures. Da-da-da-da-da. But you ain't got the other badges. But you got a girl that's a baddie, the level 100 Charizard. What happens in the game when that happens? It doesn't obey you. It literally won't obey you. The game will literally, it will go to sleep, not listen to you, pout, attack itself. It's the same thing like your girl. She won't listen to you. So it's like, if the game is already told like that, if it's sold like this, don't try to buy it separately. That's how it's supposed to be. So as a dude, if most women will sit there and listen to you, if most women will sit there and say, this is what I want out of my man, then just do it. And you'll get any girl you want. We see it every day. You want that type of love? Be the type of man to get that type of love. Because I like to, in my mind, I like to think of control what I can control. I can't control if a girl disrespects me. I can't control if a girl wants to be promiscuous. I don't even dislike promiscuous women because everybody likes sluts. Everybody likes slut. You know, there's a wife and then there's a slut. My wife, that's the one I had kids with. The slut, that's the one I have fun with. And the reason why I like sluts is because if majority of women are sluts, that means I know what a wife look like.
That's deep. Run that back. Say that again.
If you got a room of 90 sluts, you know what them last 10 look like then, because they ain't acting like them.
Facts.
See what I'm saying?
Facts.
So instead of complaining about all these women ain't this, then be the type of dude to pull the minority, because they still get chosen. They still having kids. They still get wifed up. You just ain't that dude. And you so used to never having attention and never had the choices that when you get some type of attention from a girl because you think you earned it, nah, dog, she just playing you. Because, you know, the promiscuous women still want love too. They still want love just like the wives do. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't never seen one, well, shoot, bro, you can't tell the difference between a shark and a dolphin. One of them gonna bite you. I'm just saying.
This is wild.
I'm just saying.
I get it. But like you said, let me ask you this. You learned all this being an athlete.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's like you worked really, really hard to be an athlete. To go play division, for someone to pay you thousands and thousands of dollars. You see how much these NIL deals are. To get paid thousands of dollars, that means you dedicated a good bit, on average, 10 years of your life as a child to be an athlete, to get paid from somebody.
Right.
A lot of money. So because of that, now you're in a position where people recognize you. They recognize that you've worked that hard. They recognize your talent. So you're getting attention because you're worth something. You have something that is invaluable, which is your experience. Your experience of playing for Alabama, LSU, Richmond, Liberty, any of these big colleges. Doesn't matter what level it is. Someone is looking at you on that campus as that guy. You're going to get attention.
Facts.
And girls are typically like, it's sort of a litmus, because think about it, the star athlete, the starting quarterback, the star athlete, the top receiver, top DB, they probably got the prettiest girl around their shoulder. No one cares about the okie joke who's just sitting in his room, regular student, the what they call him, the NARP. No one really cares about that, but they care about the athlete, because at the end of the day, you are getting attention. Right. Because this was so fun. I was pretty bad at this. I will say this. I used to let girls wear like my practice jersey in the stadiums. They would get excited off of just wearing the starting corner jersey, because when people are just like cheering and you hear Roland Williams on the tackle, Roland Williams on the pick, and everyone's looking around, they're thinking that girl's got to be important because she's wearing his jersey. Whether that's true or not, that's what they thinking. So they're sitting there just like, that's their validation. Because what girl doesn't like being the pedestal of a man who's high caliber? That's common sense. They would sit there and be like, oh man, like I am wearing this jersey. And the problem is I've had some that just like, I don't even talk to them. Like I would stop talking to them and they would still keep my stuff. I'll never forget the craziest situation. I'm at a basketball game, on the campus basketball game. And I'm sitting there in the stands and one of my homeboys was just like, hey, ain't that such and such? And I was like, yeah. And I looked, girl's wearing one of my shirts. And I was like, wait a second. And the dude was just like, who's that beside her? It was her boyfriend sitting beside her, and she's wearing my shirt at the game. So then look, fast forward, they must have been beefing or something like that, whatever, right? I see her out that weekend, and I was just like, hey, why are you wearing my clothes? She was like, oh, you noticed? What you mean I noticed? What's your boyfriend sitting right there? He don't even know. He don't care. And that's how the game be. Like that's and it's fun to them. Like it's really fucked up, but it's fun to them.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Mr. Keep Attention. I was a knucklehead, man. I used to do the most, but it's like I still get attention, but for the right reasons. I used to be a knucklehead for sure.
I got you. So were you in the gym? You say you in the gym, keep working out, and You do what else other than the gym?
I go to the gym. So I got 2 dogs that I watch. Those are my boys. I got my own YouTube page. I'm always editing and posting videos. It started out like kind of like a journal of just like me just posting stuff that's like, oh, YouTube is a library. Like one day I can go back and look at it. Because when I started my YouTube, I wanted to be where my kids 10, 20, 30 years from now will sit there and be like, that was my dad. They know how the dad was at 25, 26 years old. So that's where it started out, and people liked it. Because I would just be like why segments of like, why did I did this? Why did I move to Miami? Why did I take risks? Why did I have dogs? And it's like my kids will look at that. Because like as a man, one of the things that I appreciate is that when I'm older and I got my 5-year-old son, 5-year-old daughter, or how many I have, and they're sitting there like, Dad, read us a bedtime story, I could just tell them my life and just change the name of the character. That's that's why I like my experiences, because I can sit there and tell them bedtime stories and they mama sitting there smiling because she know I'm just talking about myself. Dad, I love this character. Who is that? The whole time it's me, but they don't know that. And that's the beautiful thing about it, because they, without realizing it, they're building a role model out of me just by me just like existing in front of them.
Right. And you kind of pretty much kind of like the Lion King, like you wrote, you know.
Yeah, how Mufasa was a Simba. Yeah. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that's dope. So, and here's one other thing: you're the Power Ranger.
Oh yeah,
because you got to lock in.
Yeah, always.
You got to provide, protect.
Yep.
And then even just make what they see reality.
Yeah,
because kids know.
Because I want to be. Because I've had girls who like argue with this with me. They're just like, you don't want to be present in your kid's life. And it's like, it's not that I want to be present. I want to be Superman to my kids. And what I mean by Superman, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, everyone in the city loves them. They're not there all the time though. But when they come up to save you, you appreciate them. You thank them. You love them because they're there for that moment.
Right.
And then when they're gone, you don't dislike them because they disappeared.
Facts.
They've earned that respect. That's how I want to be to my kids. Yeah, you know, that really comes down to their mother, because if their mother doesn't respect you and they be like, Mommy, where's Dad at? Oh, he out there. That comes from the mother. But if she's sitting there like, this house we have, the dogs that we have, the life you have, Daddy's earned it. When he comes home at 5, this is why. And then when I come home at 5, they're going to have smiles on their faces, because they're just like, Daddy's home. We got to appreciate his time, because he's not here for long. And when I am home, I'm not wasting the time with my kid. A lot of guys, like a lot of men and guys, I say guys because a lot of my like people my age are out here having kids now. They aimlessly waste time with their kids. And that's why their kids will resent them and be like, I don't want to be with Dad no more. Because it's just like, you just sitting on the couch with your kids sitting right there playing a video game. Nah, when I have my kids, we're going to be, you know, like how my dad was. We're going to play sports. If I'm not working, we're going to play sports. We're going to read. Like, I want my kids to read books. Right. Like, my currency, it's Pat Beeve. One of the like, huge podcast guys, he said this before, and it stuck with me because I read a lot of books. I've been reading since I was a little kid, and my currency in my house will be books. When I come home and we at the dinner table, tell me about, I don't care if it's 1 chapter, 5 sentences, or the whole book itself. You want anything, that book is your currency, because you learning something, and you have a reason to learn because you're going to get something out of it. That's how I want my kids to be. Like, tell me a story. Girls or guys, it don't matter. It could be romance, science fiction, it don't matter. Read a book. And I'm going to have my own library in the house, because it's going to be easier access. And I want my kids to read, because that's what helped me learn more than what my own family could teach me. Right. And I don't want them to use the internet, because that's like giving an 18-year-old millions of dollars.
Right. It's like a cheat code.
It's like a cheat code, and you're not ready for that yet. So if they read the books, it's like a gateway to the internet, and now they'll know what to look for instead of just aimlessly scrolling on the internet. And it's like, oh, this information seems valuable, when you can't distinguish valuable and invaluable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell that that's actually just trash information that someone don't tell. Like, you don't question everything. My grandma used to call me Mr. Peabody, because I question everything. I still do. I question everything that happens to me. Everything has a reason. So yeah, if something is happening, I'm asking you why. You might even get mad at me for it, but why? Because that's just how the world works. There's a reason.
Being inquisitive.
You got to be curious.
Yeah, I take that. I like that, man. But being inquisitive, I mean, is a good trait and good value, because now you're teaching, and what you teach your kids, it would be instilled in them for a lifetime. And if you ever wanted to hide anything from people, put it in a book.
Oh yeah, because shoot, if I put $100 in a book, hey, you tell my dad I need money, read that book. I think it was Kevin Hart that said that about his grandma. She kept saying, read your Bible, and he wouldn't read it. And then when he finally did read it, it was his rent money right there. So it's just like, yeah, you could, put the stuff. Oh yeah, and it's like, the reason why I want that is because I want structure for my family. Because especially as an African American, it's like you already, because obviously my kids are either gonna be like fully African American mixed, whatever. Like it ain't gonna be like, you know, a non-African American lineage with my kids. They will have some type of color. So you can't change prejudices, but they will exist because they are of color.
Right.
And since they will exist, you got to know how to act a certain way. Even if you are a 4, 5, 6-year-old, you're going to have to learn. And if they, again, respect me, if they know dad is structure, mommy is fun, dad is structure, they going to sit there and be like, don't play.
100%.
Don't play. It's dad's around. It's about that time. He knows how to have fun because I am a fun guy, but you are my responsibility.
Right. You got to lay down the law. You got to lay down the law.
Got to.
That's it. Take charge. That's what I'm talking about. Man, boy, you got a lot. How many kids you want, real quick?
Honest to God answer?
Oh, Lord.
Minimum. I ain't even gonna say minimum. Minimum 8.
Damn. That boy said 8.
I want a lot. I want like people, like, you know, some people laugh at me about it. I want like a farm worth of kids, like 8 to 10 kids, for sure.
One wife?
If I'm in a situation where I have yet to, but I've come across a woman who has the same ideologies of wanting all those kids and is willing to do that truthfully, and it's like that's something she's making it very clear that's her mindset, then cool. Am I gonna hold my breath? No. So it's probably gonna be the latter. You know, it's probably gonna be a situation where it's like multiple, you know.
Oh, you the Nick Cannon special.
He got like what, like 8?
Or the Chris Brown situation. He got many kids.
He got three women and 3 kids. I want more kids than that, but yeah, that seems pretty fair. It seems pretty fair. Me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with it, and I know like some people will be like, some girls would be like, oh, that's crazy. Why would you do that? But it's like, you only really get one life, and It's like, if that's what you want to do, baby girl, go do that. I ain't tripping on it, and I'm so honest up front. Like, shoot, down here, I have told girls straight up, like, this is what I kind of want. This is where my mind is. And they'll get mad and try to convince me otherwise. I'm like, stop trying to convince me otherwise. Because, like, you just lying to yourself.
Right.
Because then I'm going to be somebody I'm not. Now, granted, again, like I said, if there is one woman, I'm not going to hold it against it. If I meet that spiritual connection with somebody, cool. But for the most part, because it's like dating for women. Like, if I were to give advice to girls, because I got a baby sister. If I were to give advice to my baby sister on how to find the right man, stop trying to date a man because you want to marry him. Choose the man because you want to father him. And the reason why I say father him, because there's 3 types of relationship.
Right.
Metabolic, symbiotic, and parasitic. By definition, a baby is a parasite because it's sitting in a woman and she could potentially die from having that baby. A woman could give birth and die. And that baby's taking energy and nutrients from that woman, and she's carrying it for 9 months. So why would you carry 9 months for a dude you don't want to have a kid with? If most girls were to sit there and say, I would never have a kid with this man, so I shouldn't talk to them, most of their boyfriends would never exist. Honest to God, most of their boyfriends would never exist. And I tell my baby sister that. I'm like, don't be wasting your time with a dude you wouldn't have a kid with. Because anybody can get married. You can get married and then get divorced the next year. It's just a piece of paper. And then, like, the problem is that when you do that, you're wasting your time. You're only messing your mind up because now it's like it's tainted love. It wasn't a good experience. But if you're looking at a dude, because it don't take long to figure out if you'd have a kid with somebody. I don't care what nobody say. You could look at somebody and have a, you know, like as a guy, you could kind of look at a girl, listen to her red flags, and be like, oh, I would never have no kid with her. Because like me personally, I've had my phase of having sex with girls and stuff like that in a sense of like just promiscuously. If I'm not trying to procreate with you, I really don't care about having sex with you. I will turn down a girl because I'm like, man, I'm not even gonna have kids with her. I would never want, like, this is funny. In my phone, whenever I'm talking to a girl, if you ever look at my phone, when I really mess with a girl or I'm like, it might go that way, I'll be like, send me a baby pic. Send me a baby pic. I want to see what you look when you was a little baby. And they'll be like, oh, this is cute. And they'll say baby pictures. That's your contact ID. So now I know this is what I'm gonna get out of you. And if I don't like it,
rinse, repeat, reuse, and recycle.
Man, look, because it's like you really only live once. I ain't got time to waste. And you don't, and the girls don't either. They ain't got time to waste. So why waste each other's time? I'm telling you, there's billions of people. 7.8, 8.1, something like that. Billions of people. There's about 5. There's like 3 people that align perfectly with your life. I promise you there is. And being that I've traveled so much with football, that is probably what most people think is my downfall. Because they'll sit there and say, nobody's good enough. It's not that nobody's good enough. I just ain't met that person yet.
Facts. Do you see yourself still going to be that athlete route, like NFL, NBA?
Oh, no. Because I like my body. Like, when you are in, like, there's only a small percentage of them that make it long enough to where they're a Hall of Famer or make good money because they never had a freak injury.
Right.
LeBron James ain't never had no freak injury. Tom Brady ain't never had no freak injury. Derrick Rose could have been the next, like Kobe, LeBron, etc. Right? But he had that freak injury. You know, you get one bad injury and it changes your whole perspective on sports. Right? And It's like, do I like my body? Because it's all it is. It's a gladiator style. You're just beating yourself up just for millions of people. That's all you're doing is beating you and somebody else up legally just for millions of people. So it's like, I've also met people who've made money just like that without playing sports. And I'm like, man, I trust myself. I can make that kind of money.
I like that, man. But listen, let me ask you this. Where can we find you? Where can we see you? Tell everybody where we can get in contact with you, man. So you're finna be, Mr. All-Star, Mr. Hall of Famer out here in these streets.
If you want to find me, you can find me on Instagram at RO_Will15. Also on my YouTube page, TikTok as well. All got the same handles. And yeah, man, you can find me on there. I'm always popping in on podcasts now. I'm seen to be a type of guy that can get more, so you're going to hear more from me. And shoot, we might be able to get a tour out after the conversation we had before the podcast started. Might be able to start traveling for some more podcasts.
Yes, listen, that's the route we got to go, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, guys, y'all tuned in to another episode of Real Shit Let's Talk podcast. We had, man, All-Star Ro in the building. Listen, we thank you. Hey, tune in for the next one. We'll catch you later.